The tragic ending of the Lies of P Overture DLC caused quite the confusion. Despite the potential for even greater twists and revelations, the expansion ended masterfully on a full note that fleshed out many of the theories we had crafted before our journey to the past. Is Laxasia truly the legendary stalker? Extend your stay in Krat to find out. But before we come to a definitive answer, it's time to give credit where it's due. Kudos to WizardWolf1020 for locating the Easter egg in the previous thumbnail. If you look closely, you'll see the star chrysalis just beneath the logo. If you're new to the channel, I've started playing a game with viewers where I hide an Easter egg in the thumbnail of each of my videos. The first person to state what and where it is in the comments gets a shout out in the following video. Now, back to the matter at hand. In the final scenes of the Overture, after Arlecchino's defeat, Leia's dying wish to be reunited with her apprentices had been granted, thanks to Carlo, a hero neither bound by time or even death itself. As she embraced Romeo in his time of need, much like her sister Sophia had held Carlo in the present timeline, she noticed someone approaching from a distance. It was none other than Geppetto himself, lugging an eerily familiar chest. This chest, of course, held the nameless puppet that we know to be Carlo's original human body that succumbed to the petrification disease. The newly added collectible, the Madman's Journal, provides indisputable evidence. It reads, "I have learned the devil's method. The subject's body must be fresh, minimal post-mortem time. The container must have a close resemblance to the subject. Appearance is key. The essence acquired from the subject must have been produced before death. If this is true, only one element is missing, and it requires a desecration I can't begin to imagine, but must. Am I cursed? Is this retribution for letting myself be blinded by grief and working with the alchemist devils? But without her pain, I'd have no reason to go on. Send me back to my child. Alas, I cannot, but I can still get the child back myself. If so, that is the only course I can take. I will have no choice but to make this my singular purpose." In his grief following Camille's death, Geppetto would stop at nothing to see his beloved wife's final wish come true, even if that meant slaying his late son's mentor, the legendary stalker, and capturing his best friend Romeo using Carlo's own corpse. But did Leia truly die, or did she suffer a fate worse than death? Some believe that Geppetto handed Leia over to Simon and his fanatical alchemist as a way to prove his alliance. Simon was instrumental in her father Valentinus Monad's excommunication, downfall, and subsequent replacement. This gesture of good faith would, of course, be used to Geppetto's advantage and allow him to steal the arm of God for his evil machinations. If this were true, did Simon subject Leia to endless experimentation until she fulfilled prophecy and became Laxasia the complete one? It's undeniable that Leia and Laxasia have quite the resemblance, not to mention both of these warriors were incredibly skilled fighters that are in a league of their own. But are they truly one and the same? If so, then Simon would have successfully gained control over both of his predecessor's daughters and bent them to his will, a truly sadistic display of his ruthless power and arrogance. Interestingly enough, the epic encounter with Laxasia takes place only paces away from Sophia's chambers. Is this merely a coincidence, or something altogether different? There is little in the way of lore for Laxasia, save for her very essence itself, the sad zealot's ergo. It states, "The alchemist Adriana was baptized by the elixir, and she became the first whole being. Everything about her was perfect, except the fact that her feelings for one person could not be erased." If we're to believe that the complete one is Leia, then why was she referred to as the alchemist Adriana, a seemingly devout member of the association with a name of her own? The legendary stalker's full name was Leia Florence Monad, and not even rearranging the letters of her name can result in an anagram of Adriana. It seems like quite the stretch. Others claim that the one person being referred to in the item description would likely be Carlo. However, there is one minor detail that must be considered. Those skilled enough to beat Laxasia in combat are quite familiar with her final words. Upon her defeat, she clearly states, "Oh, Sir Simon, only you were the one I..." End quote. Her fixation and love for Simon was her sole obsession and ironically the only flaw she had. Her existence was indeed a contradiction. As Simon's sword, she could never be his lover, hence the aptly named sad zealot's ergo. A zealot is defined as someone who is extremely passionate and uncompromising in their support of a particular cause. Leia the legendary stalker had nothing but resentment for the hypocritical alchemists, and only the deepest of love for her dearest apprentices, Romeo and Carlo, In fact, she was willing to sever all ties with the alchemists, including those with her own family, so that she could walk a different path. She died in the knowledge that Carlo would become the hero of his own tale, the author of his own fate, and the master stalker who had bested death itself. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know you want more content just like this. Click on these videos on screen to continue your journey through Krat, and I'll be there to guide you when you arrive. Become a true theory hunter for exclusive perks like emojis, early access, and more. Or check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support me in a more personal way. Until next time, it's the Inhuman one signing out. Join the Inhuman community today.